This is the BLUETTI Solar Generator AC300 and B300K Expansion Battery, and honestly, a little intimidating at first glance. If you've seen pictures online, you'll notice it has a pretty modern look for what's basically a giant battery system. The finish is sleek, the screen is big and easy to read, and all the ports are clearly labeled. It's not small. The AC300 and the B300K together weigh over 110 pounds, so while it's technically portable, you'll want to think twice before carrying it solo. Let me kick off this quick review by saying that I had some doubts at the start. I'd never used a power station this size before, and I always wondered whether it would actually be practical for both home backup and outdoor trips, especially with all the hype out there these days about power stations. From my experience, this one really walks the talk if you know what you're looking for. Key features that stand out to me: the AC300 isn't just a battery, it's the brain of the system and has its own inverter built in, which lets you plug in almost any device you can think of. It comes with 7 heavy-duty AC outlets rated for up to 3,000 watts total, a number of USB ports including USB-C for fast charging your phone or laptop, wireless charging pads on the top, and even an RV port. With the included B300K Expansion Battery, you actually get a whopping 2,764.8 watt-hours. In simple terms, that's enough juice to keep a fridge running for a whole day, or charge your phone hundreds of times. If you really need more power, you can chain up to 4 B300K batteries together for well over 11,000 watt-hours. But to be honest, just one battery has kept me going for days. What I love about the setup is how versatile and expandable it is. You can scale the system from something small and portable to a powerhouse for your whole house, just by adding more batteries. The connectors use strong locking mechanisms, so once you set it up, you don't have to worry about anything coming loose. The touchscreen lets you see how much battery you've got left, how much power you're using, and it's all laid out in a way that even a new user like me could figure out after a few minutes of poking around. From my experience using it on a week-long outdoor trip, the AC300 and B300K performed even better than I expected. On a single full charge, I ran a telescope, the mount, a portable heater, a small fridge, my laptop, and charged my phone every night for almost a week, without ever having to recharge the battery. I tracked my usage closely and found that running all my gear for about 4 hours took only around 10% of the battery's capacity. That's seriously impressive. I also found that the battery handled cold weather just fine. Even though BLUETTI lists the safe range as 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, I used it at -10 without trouble. Of course, I wouldn't officially recommend running the unit outside the manufacturer's guidelines, but it didn't let me down. As for setup, the manual is clear, but there are quite a few cables and ports, so if you aren't used to these kinds of devices, take your time. The charging options are awesome. Plug it into the wall, and the AC300 can go from 0 to 80% in about 45 minutes, which honestly blew me away. You can also use solar panels to keep it topped off if you're camping or off the grid, or even use your car charger in a pinch. Now, let's talk about portability and everyday use. It's big and heavy, so while you can load it in your car if you're going camping or road tripping, it isn't something I'd lug around for fun. The handles are sturdy and make it easier to move around, but definitely plan ahead if you need to set it up somewhere far from your car or house. Operating the system is pretty intuitive. The touchscreen is the main thing you'll interact with. It shows battery percentage, input and output wattage, and quick access settings for things like turning AC or DC outputs on or off. The BLUETTI app was a surprise for me. It connects over Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, letting me check the system status or turn on and off outputs from my phone. I found this especially useful while I was in my tent and wanted to control power without having to get up and walk over. A quick note about noise and heat. There are cooling fans, but they only spin up when you're pulling a lot of power or if it gets warm. On most days, it was pretty much silent. If you're using it indoors or at night while you sleep, you won't hear much. The one thing that wasn't perfect for me is the overall weight. Once you connect everything, moving it isn't exactly a one-person task. And if you hope to use just the B300K battery module alone, it's pretty limited, really only useful for charging a USB device directly. That's not a huge deal since most folks will use the battery with the AC300 anyway, but it's something to keep in mind. I also had some initial worries about the investment. I won't pretend it's cheap. But honestly, when I compared it to paying for spoiled freezer food or being stuck in the dark during a power outage, I feel it's justified, especially if you get outages more than once a year or do a lot of off-grid activities. The battery uses LiFePO4 chemistry. If you've never heard of it, that just means it charges and discharges more times than normal lithium batteries, over 3,500 cycles before it drops to 80% capacity. So the lifespan should be measured in years, even with heavy use. In my opinion, it's perfect for anyone who wants reliable backup power at home, especially in areas with regular outages, or for folks who need serious power out in the field, like for camping, RV trips, or outdoor shoots. If your only use is charging small devices, you could probably go with a smaller and lighter unit. But if you want real keep your house running when the lights go out power, or to power up big appliances, this is the level you'll want. I'd recommend this for anyone who's ready to set up a proper backup system at home or needs flexibility on the road. In conclusion, the BLUETTI Solar Generator AC300 and B300K Expansion Battery really impressed me. It's powerful, easy to use once you get the hang of it, and gives peace of mind during power outages or on long outdoor trips. The app and touchscreen bring it into the smart tech era, and the build quality feels totally solid, like something you'll use for many years. If you can live with the weight and higher initial price, the long-term benefits and flexibility make it worth it. I'll leave the details about the BLUETTI Solar Generator AC300 and B300K Expansion Battery in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.